the 5 frequently asked questions about the process of Italian Citizenship Jure Sanguinis that we want to share with you, because I'm sure 100% that the same question that we received, these 5 questions, are the same questions that you are asking to yourself if you are looking for information about the process. So this is Marco Bersani from the Bersani Law Firm and Partners, and do not lose any more time. Let's start. Today we want to describe a little more about the process by sharing with you the 5 most common frequently asked questions. So we want to share with you these 5 frequently asked questions. So we hope that you can better understand a few important things about the process. So the first question is when I am eligible for getting Italian citizenship by Jure Sanguinis. There are many ways you can qualify for Italian citizenship by descent, but the main thing that you have to keep in mind is only one. You can claim, and so you are eligible for Italian Citizenship Jure Sanguinis only and only if you have an Italian ancestor who never naturalized abroad, so never renews to his or her Italian citizenship, or if he or she renews, he did that after the birth of his child. So this is the real important question. This is the real important answer that we can give to you. It's very common that people contact us and, for example, they say to us, I took a DNA test, so from my DNA test, it seems that I'm 25% Italian, but what does it mean? Actually, it doesn't mean anything for the process. A DNA test is not relevant. It doesn't matter. What it matters is to do a really deep genealogical research on your family tree. So you have to go back in time, you go back in generation, you have to find an Italian ancestor, for example, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and you have to check that is mandatory. So it's mandatory before even check if you qualify. So your grandfather that emigrated from Italy to the US, for example, what you have to check if your grandfather naturalized, took American citizenship, and when. That's really, really important. That's the core of the application. Is the game changer between being eligible or not. The number 2. How long does it take to get Italian citizenship Jure Sanguinis? Well, it really depends on which path you are taking, because if you are going to file your application through the local Italian consulate because you are living abroad, for example, you live in New York, so you're going to file your application through the Italian consulate in New York City, well, it may take a lot of time. It's really difficult to predict for 2 reasons. The first one is that the appointments are set by the consulate itself. So you have just to go on the website and try to book your appointment actually. In most cases, the processing time for getting an appointment is on average between 3 to 5 years. It really depends where you're going to file. It may take like 3-5 years for getting an appointment, and after that, after the appointment date, you have to think that you brought the documents, you will bring the documents for the first time in that moment, and from that moment they have Italian consulate maximum 2 years for processing your application. So it means that you have to add other 2 years for the years that you want to count for the processing time. So it may take like 5-6 years for ending the process. Differently, if you cannot apply through the local Italian consulate because, for example, you are unable to book your consular appointment, like it happens in 99% of cases during the last 2 years, well, in this case the process will be fast for sure, because we can file for you as attorneys, through a power of attorneys, we can file your petition for citizenship by descent by Jure Sanguinis through the Italian local immigration court, depending on where your ancestor was born. Question number 3. I discovered that my grandfather naturalized before the birth of my father, so the line is broken. Can I jump to my great-grandfather that was born in Italy? The answer is no. You cannot jump to other generation. So you cannot just jump to the possible eligible ancestor. It doesn't work like that. You have to start from the last Italian ancestor you have. There are no other ways to apply. Number 4. What is the fastest way to get my Italian citizenship Jure Sanguinis? Right now, on November 2022, the fastest way is certainly through the local immigration court. You can file through the local immigration court, as we said in other videos, only if you are facing issues on filing your application through the local Italian consulate, if you have a case that can be filed through the local consulate. So in this case, for example, if you are facing lack of appointments, it's months or years, you try to make an appointment and the consulate is not giving you appointments, or in another way, if you can have an appointment but the appointment is after 5 years, for example, so it's a really long wait time. In this case, you can file your petition, you can claim your Italian citizenship Jure Sanguinis through an Italian immigration court, and you can legally do that because of the lack of appointments and because of the violation of the 2 years legal terms given to the Italian consulate. It does depend on your situation. That's why we always say contact us, check with us your eligibility, check with us if you qualify, it's free of charge. If you have a particular case, we can book a consultation call and we will tell you you can do that, this is the best strategy for your case, and we advise you to process with this path or another path. The last question, then question number 5 of the frequently asked question. Can I apply for Jure Sanguinis in Italy? Yes, you can apply for Jure Sanguinis in Italy through the local Italian municipality, they call the so-called Italian comune. This is a process we actually discourage and we do not recommend, except in case you are not resident in Italy. So if you are resident in Italy, of course you can take this because you are resident here, so you have no other ways than applying to the municipality. But if you are not resident in Italy, this is something that we absolutely discourage. We will do another video about that, so we better explain you why this is not the best way to apply for citizenship by descent. But absolutely, this is maybe the worst way to apply for citizenship by descent. If you are living abroad, the options are applying through the consulate, or if you are unable to book your appointment, apply through a local immigration court, and you have not to come in Italy, so we can handle everything for you. So for sure, this is certainly also the most comfortable way to apply. As always, do not hesitate to contact us. You can do that on our website, also for booking a consultation call with one of our expertise attorneys, and you can also contact us and follow us on our social media pages like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And absolutely important, subscribe to this channel, to your YouTube channel, because it's the only way for you to receive immediately a pop-up notification on your phone as soon as we post any new videos. Thank you so much again for your time, and see you on the next videos.